Dude, I'm saying, phone keeps dying. Phone keeps dying. So, I don't know. I still have some extra time. It's 8:15. Kids won't be home for a little while. So, I'm going to let this run for a minute because basically, I'm going to get the rest of my stuff rolled up for this evening. Anyways. And I put a bunch of shit away too. It says, hang on, we're telling more followers to join your video, which would be awesome as long as my phone doesn't keep dying. Oh, let me fix this too. There. Okay, sorry. Still rocking. Here, we'll put this on. I know we went to the pool today. It was like 1,004 degrees today. Slightly felt like hell. No, see, it's not even telling anybody. It's like, hang on. You lie, Instagram, you lie. All like the chlorine out. Nasty, just nasty. What else happened this week? That I didn't mention. I feel like I mentioned a little bit of everything. Well, okay, so I did a really cool group reading. That was beautiful. I was nervous only because having so many people in a room at once and everybody not just watching but anticipating and expecting, and it's like I don't want to let anybody down kind of stuff. So I have to like put aside all of my fears and just get over it, right? I got invited. I said yes. I was nervous. I did it anyways. I think we had a great turnout. My biggest fears are always like, well, what if I get it wrong? And I'm like, I just have to say what I see and not worry about being wrong. That type of stuff. When you have an intuitive hit, it can be very confusing because you're like, I'm seeing this or I hear this, but it doesn't really make sense to me. But does this word mean anything to you? Is there any significance? Or sometimes they'll show me things and it's like, maybe what they show me gets lost in translation because it was like, hey, Susanna. So say, for example, like when I was doing this group reading, it's like, oh, the grandpa showed me all the table of, hey, Kayla, all the table of sweets. And so it's like, okay, when a spirit is showing you a mental image of something, oh, yeah, well, and my phone completely died. So so the reason why this is part 3 is because the first one overheated when I was going to read someone, and everything had to reboot and reset because it overheated. And then this one, the battery completely died. So I had to come inside, get it on the charger, which is fine because I'm rolling up my blunt for later, my night blunt. Preparing. So anyways, I'm explaining how it works for mediumship and how I receive information. So I explain it like it's like driving in a car and moving over. Just say the car is me, right? It's like moving over and switching seats and being in the passenger seat and letting somebody else step forward to be in the driver's seat and letting them take over and control the radio and control the experience. And I'm just a passenger now. And so when I did this group reading this week, I was really nervous because I'm like, what if they all come at me at once? And then driving to there, because it was all the way on the east side, I was like experiencing a variety of different things and people coming through. So it was very confusing. So I was like, man, I don't know who this is for. I don't know anything about this person. You know, there was one like overdose coming through, and then it was like, then it would switch almost like as fast as switching songs. It would switch to another energy of like a totally different person, where it's like, okay, this is someone's brother, or this is like, you know, somebody younger coming through. And the best, I don't know how to explain it other than you just feel it and know it in your head. I was like, what am I using to scrape this with? And it was from a really delicious Jamaican patty. So the way that the information comes through, it's different for everybody, but for me, it varies on how the person communicated in life for it to make sense on how they communicate once they cross over. So if they were very gentle, quiet, meek, and normally just sat to themselves off in the corner and didn't say anything, hey, welcome in, then oftentimes that's how they come across to me, very quiet, meek, and just kind of like whispering, right? And then there's other times where I've tuned into fiery type, you know, grandmas who screamed all the time, and it was just like, whoa, as soon as you tune into their energy, it was like you just hear all the arguments and you hear and feel all the tension, and it feels different. So the other interesting part is that when you have multiple people who have crossed, even if they didn't know each other in life, they could still come forward because you're the common denominator, and they can still come forward together. And it's almost like linking energies and carpooling, if we're still using that analogy. Like I said, one person, even if like some people are like, oh, my parents are both coming through, but they weren't married and they didn't get along, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. They're still coming through now. That's how it is to me, and I can't differentiate or tell the difference, right? I get stuck when I'm trying to interpret things. So, like, I've done a reading for somebody where the whole day leading up to her reading, I kept getting the word frog, 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 frog. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I wrote that down. And then, like, I was getting oddly specific things that happened. Like, I was in the shower, my heart started hurting. I looked out the window, I saw the palm trees. My son walks in, and he's got a fake gun pointed at me, and I was just very much observing. Yeah, he has. I'll explain that in a second too. I was very much just observing everything that happened, and then when I talked to my friend to do her reading later, I was like, yo, is there any significance to any of these things that I just experienced? And she was like, yeah, that was my grandpa. He called me frog or froggy or whatever it was, right? And I didn't know that about her, and we were best friends. And then I was like, well, how did he die? And she's like, he had a heart attack in the shower while living in Hawaii or Mexico or somewhere tropical. So it was like the significance of me having the pain in my heart, looking out the window, seeing the palm trees, right? So it was just like all these things happening. And then she was like, yeah, and then he was an arms dealer. So that was as we're walking in with the gun. Yeah, so the way that Doug comes through to me, so it's hard sometimes because obviously I have memories of him. Oh my God, I just got a notification right now for a YouTube video that says, let's kiss and make up. And he was like my first kiss, like my first real kiss. That is hilarious. That is the shit that I'm talking about, of how he comes through. Very flirtatious. That's fucking funny. I should have took a screenshot. Damn it. I wonder if it'll be in my notifications. Yeah, and people also like, yeah, so he comes through very flirtatious. other people are very serious. My grandma comes through fiery as fuck and very bossy. My grandma comes through like when it's time to like tune into my inner, like, dude, you just Jewish grandma, like you just gotta her way or no way, right? I've also tuned into my own family members that I never knew. Yeah, that was always him. Very flirtatious. He also came through right after he died. I don't know if I had a dream or if he came through in meditation, but he was very, very clear. And you know how I like to do like my little image generator. So I pulled that and I forget what it was that came through, but it was like all like younger school related, like stuff we bonded over. Or like music, like Spotify would throw on a song that was like, oh, this reminds me of him, you know, and not in a, like, there's another girl, I don't know if you remember her. She comes through to me every now and again, and she's come through to me ever since she died. If you remember Kristen Miner, Kristen, oh, you got to tell me your dream for sure. But Kristen has come through to me on multiple occasions, and it's just like the weirdest thing. And so I just always, like, anytime she pops into my head, I send her mom Reiki and I send her mom love, because I don't know whatever happened to her parents, but I always think about her family and her parents and her mom. I don't feel the brother ever, because I didn't really have a connection with him. I just feel her, but like with him. But it's more of like, if I ever ran into her mom, ever, somehow, like, that would be really fucking crazy. Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, the readings that I have done, a lot of it has been impromptu or strangers, like a friend of a friend. Yep. Yeah, her brother died first. Yeah, and then I just always remember her. You know, it's crazy is I remember her at the most random time when I'm in the shower shaving, because I remember she caught herself shaving somehow on accident. She said she went to scratch her head and she had a razor in her hand and she like, poop. And that's what I remember. Hello. Oh, unless this is a fake account. Is this a real account or a fake account? Just making sure you're not a scammer. I was like, did you change your username? So yeah, that's how the mediumship stuff comes through. It's wild because it comes through as flashes of things, like a movie sometimes, or like a memory that's not my own. So I have to know what's the difference between my memories and what my brain might be constructing and projecting as something, right? But there are feelings that come through. There's stuff like right now, how, you know, the notification popped in. Oh, okay, it's real. Just making sure. Just making sure. I saw the 2 eyes, and so I was like, So the craziest thing when doing a mediumship reading, though, is when I feel it in my body, when they can communicate it through a feeling. Whether, like, before I got news that my friend died of a heart attack, I thought of him the day before. I was reading a story to my son, and it was Little Dog, Big Dog. And I was like, oh, whatever happened to Dan? Like, I miss him. What happened? He was my agent for a while. We worked together for a while. And then the next day I found out he had a heart attack. And I was like, shit, I was having heart palpitations and all of this stuff. Oh, good. See, I got trusty. My eyes like. So stuff like that happens. And there's a lot of people that actually, that kind of stuff happens to them and they kind of write it off because they're like, oh, that was weird. And they don't put 2 and 2 together. But it's like, no, if you actually pay attention, and this is why I want to hear the dream that you had about him when he died. Because, yeah, the dreams come through so vivid and clear. It's different than oh, I dreamt and then I was popping through things. Like when you have a visitation, you know you are existing in another realm in that dream. You know your body is asleep on that bed and you are out somewhere else when you're having a visitation dream. It's different. It is not, I am Scrooge McDuck and swimming through money right now. It's like what dreams may come. Yeah. So I want to hear about the dream. What happened? If it's not too much to type out. Or just like basic. Because when you told me, or even before you said, when you posted that he died, I looked at the picture that you had posted and I saw him, I felt him. I kept getting customers named Doug. It was like, I shared with you a bunch of stuff that happened. He told you were going to be pregnant. Oh, okay. Yeah. DM me a voice memo after this is done. Yeah, that's the crazy stuff. And dude, I dreamt of my kids before I got pregnant. I knew I was going to have a girl a month before I got pregnant. I felt it. I dreamt of her. I saw what she was going to look like. I knew what she would feel like. And she's exactly what I know her to be to this day. And then a month before I got pregnant with Ezra, I literally said the words, I feel like there's someone missing from my family, and I feel like it's a little boy. I feel it. And then, oop, missed my birth control and got pregnant. And that is the magical life. That is when you're like, I can't make this shit up. This one was a little dry. I don't like this one. Maybe because I'm also on, like, sometimes I don't like to use the word moist, but sometimes these ones usually come in like super duper malleable. Let's use that word, the other M word, malleable. Tuning into people I don't know. Let's talk about that for a second. So one, spiritual consent. I can't just tune into somebody without their consent. I can get the summary of them, like reading the back of a book, but I cannot dive deep into someone's water without them being the one to request it. If it's somebody that's already passed, it's a lot easier because I can tell whether or not they want to show me something. Like, oh, during this group reading that I did, there was one girl that I am almost 1,000% convinced that it was a suicide thing and not an accident thing. And she was embarrassed and didn't want to talk to me. But other people in the room could feel her anger and her sadness and stuff. But she, to me, was blank wall and wouldn't talk. So it's wild. I'm learning through every reading that I do. Yeah, what's your mom's name? What's mom's first name? Definitely, let's see if mom can come through. I want to do something at my house too, like where we all kind of get together and like, you know, pull cards. And I like to do the random image generator and the random song generator. That one comes through usually pretty clearly. Dude, and when you posted pictures of your baby and then your mom, I was like, holy shit, that baby is mom. Like, she gonna be a responsible little, this child's gonna be different for you, put it that way. Brenda. So let's definitely, we're gonna have to sit and tune in and see what we can find out from Brenda. Yeah, I'd love to have you over sometime. Just, I know with the little one, you just tell me what your schedule is. What up, Daniel? Oh, yeah, I bet. Because he felt something different when you helped. So, oh, okay. You want to talk about divine timing? Daniel that just jumped on and off real quick. Past life regressionist. Just as we're talking about your daughter coming back as your mom. How's that for synchronicity? The one person, I have 3,000 something followers. The one person who does past life regressions jumps on right as we're talking about your mom and daughter. So to me, that's validation. Yeah. What's up, Amanda? So to me, that is definitely validation that parts of mom came back through this baby girl. So, did you catch that? Amanda, I know you're just jumping on. So, Kayla and I are talking about her mom that crossed over, spirit side, and then her getting pregnant and having a little girl, and this little girl looking just like her mama. And just as I'm saying right now, yes, I think she came back as her. My friend Daniel, the past life regressionist, jumped on and off real quick. Yeah, she definitely knew. All right, this one's okay. It's got a good personality. It's a little crooked, but you know what? Sometimes the good ones are a little crooked. She definitely. Yeah, she's showing me like the support that you need, the support that you needed, the emotional support that you're going to need. Because she hits different heartstrings on you. She hits, what I see is like she's going to be pulling different emotions for you than your other kids. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see how the universe works. Oh shit, that's what it was. I forgot to put the crutch outside. I was like, why did it get so weird? Sorry, it's because I'm talking and rolling at the same time. So what I will do, sometimes I'll pull those relationship cards and use them to see if there's anything that wants to come out. So Brenda, if there's anything that needs to be said. She's showing me like her behind the scenes pulling strings. Like what I'm seeing in my head is like the techies in the theater back there running the ropes behind, right? Behind the show. So she's doing a lot of work behind the scenes for you now. Oh, what was that song? No, I don't know. I just keep hearing like that shit, like a Fleetwood Mac or something. That type of music. Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac type stuff. So I don't know if she liked that. I don't know if that's lyrics coming through or if she sends you songs. There we go. Let's try this. Her favorite? I can't think of the rest of the words right now. Yeah, like all of that feels very like home for me. Like getting lost in it. Man, maybe I don't need this. Ooh, I'm over here trying to shove a crutch in here, and I'm trying to force support in there, and maybe I don't need the support. And she was just coming in here talking to us about sending this baby in to be a support for you, a good emotional support. Waking up parts of you is what it feels like. Yeah, I don't need this. So that's part of your message too. Maybe knowing what you need, what you don't need, what you think you need. There's another baby blanket that she's showing me. And so I don't know, not that another one is coming, but there might be another one in spirit, like a baby boy. Maybe she lost a baby or you lost a baby, but there's like a blanket being held out, or some sort of consoling that way. Or notifying and letting us know that somebody on that side is safe. Okay. Love can't come in if your heart isn't open. She lost a son. So she's just making sure that through this and through this process, your heart is staying open. Ooh, I just got chills when you said that. She lost a baby between you and your sister. Yeah. So that baby's with her. Some connections aren't meant to be forever. Here's what's interesting, right? We love our parents and we have these connections, but the longest connection that we actually have is that with our siblings. That is the longest connection we'll have if everybody lives to their life expectancy, right? Our parents are here for just a season of our lives and in a cycle, right? And we're almost 40, which means Uranus opposition. It's a time of upheaval and change and shifting of things. And, you know, one message I've seen time after time when I do readings are like, this was my exit. They'll show me them on a freeway and they'll say, well, this was my exit because if I didn't go on this exit, I was going to have to take the next exit. And then I was going to be even further and in the wrong spot. So it's very much like, this is my time to go because otherwise shit was going to get bad and things were going to get worse. She says, have some fucking patience. All is in aligning in divine timing. And just say what you feel for fuck's sake. If you're angry, be angry, she says. If you're sad, be sad. Just say what you feel. Express your emotions. Even if you're grieving right now, it's going to ebb and flow. And when the grief comes in, you're going to need to communicate, especially having a new baby right now. You're going to need to be able to communicate with your partner and your other kids in the house too, of like, I'm having a really rough day today. I'm having a really bad grieving day, and what that looks like for you and what that feels like for you, so that people can be supportive to you and for you. If that means it's like the same way, like I see, if someone were coming down with a migraine, how they're like, I need to turn all the lights down and cover my eyes and go lay in a quiet room somewhere. If you're having a very heavy grief day where you're like, that day where you're really, really, really missing her, missing the sound of her voice, missing her feel, missing her hug, missing being able to talk to her. Like, I know that, I understand that. It's very real. Those are the days where everyone's going to have to fucking understand and just get it and pitch in and be there for you, right? And we know as moms, we don't always get that luxury. We rarely get that luxury. So maybe that's what it means. Just say what you feel for fuck's sake. That could be what that means. So you tell me if that resonates. I'm going to pull some IM cards and see what else she wants to communicate. And I see Doug in the background too, just like standing here, just watching like this. The shit you're into. This. All right. I've gotten quite a few of those type readings lately too. People are like, this is what she does. All right. Whatever works. Is there significance to the number 5 or 15 or 51 or 55? Maybe 5 is the month of May, the day of a month. am learning to trust others. So even after they cross, they are still processing and learning their soul lessons. And they're still, her birthday's in May. Yep, there you go. There's a stack of $5 bills right here, and I just keep being pulled to the fives of them. There's also some like ones that are right behind it, but the fives are like the big purple fives. And then like seeing the 5, 5, 5, 5. So her soul's learning to trust others still. She's still gaining, healing her heart in different ways. After we leave the earth, we're still healing, you know. Your soul's healing, your soul's moving on. I am prosperous. So maybe she's going to be helping you with your money. Or maybe she's finally feeling everything she's rich with. Oh, I love it so much. Maybe that's why she's easier to communicate with. She's like, oh, I know what to do. Hold on. Hold on. I am in alignment. Alignment being exactly where you're supposed to be at the right place, the right time. Nothing out of alignment. Everything was meant for her. Everything, soul contract, the things we agreed to. Bottom of the deck, I'm shifting my perspective. So to me, once they cross, they're fully understanding. They're fully understanding of their purpose, their why. Rich with before she passed, she would tell us. Dude, I'm telling you, once people like aren't happy on earth with their earthly experience, maybe, yeah, once people there's a lot of souls I know that are like, why am I here? Like once they're fully awakened to things, they're like, what the fuck am I doing here? Or I don't want to be here anymore. I hear that from people. I don't want to be here anymore. They're like, I'm not going to do anything about it. I just don't want to be here anymore. You know? So, with her brother and grandma. Yeah, because they get to do other shit when they cross. They get to be everywhere. Your phone's at 44%. Look at that. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for sharing. That was good divine timing on that. Ah! Oh, shit. That was too many. Okay, so Justice in reverse. That's Libra energy. So this is retribution and avoiding accountability. So maybe this is the time of her where she's processing everything, where, you know, we do a life review when we pass. So maybe there's the points where it's like, hey, I've learned where I was never accountable for myself and my actions. Maybe I'm learning where I wasn't right. Maybe it's retribution like that. Maybe I'm learning that I'm shifting my perspective. Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords came out together. So let's see. Nine of Cups, that's water energy, right? So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is wishes coming true, contentment and satisfaction, finding success and achievements. So literally, as you're telling me that she didn't want to be here anymore, like that was her wish come true, right? That's Nine of Cups. Seven of Swords, right? This is thoughts and communication. So this is how she was thinking and communicating. This is fear, anxiety, negativity, breaking point, despair, feeling isolated. So it's like, just as you're explaining, she didn't want to be here no more. And then, I don't know if I can't remember if she got sick or if that was like her ultimate crossing, but that was her wish fulfillment. She had enough, right? Like, okay, what else you want to say? Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. That's the fear and anxiety. Like that's literally, yeah, that's the fear and anxiety. So she was, yeah, she was unhappy. She was anxious too. She was fearful. She got what she wanted, right? But I hear her like, sorry that what she wanted impacted you. I hear that she's sorry. She feels bad that it affected you and it broke your heart, and seeing you cry and seeing you weep and seeing you wail, seeing you go through the confusion and the shock, like all of that, truly, truly, she's apologetic for. Like, I feel it. Like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that part of it. So sorry you had to grieve this way. Fear and anxiety, yeah. So when you're living in a constant state of fear and anxiety, and you're then you get sick, you get cancer. Like, you don't give your body a fighting chance for any of that. But at this point, that's what she wanted. She didn't, not saying she wanted to get sick, but she probably didn't have, I don't want to say like the balls to take care of it herself, right? So it's that passive suicide. I wish something bad would happen to me, or something like that. Just put me out of my misery. In so many ways. And you never know what some people truly think in their head and don't share and communicate. Yeah. Oh, Cancer. So it was her ticket out too. Ugh. Oh, dude, trust your intuition. Yeah. Plan. Oh, look at this. This is the planning card. This is the quickness card. So like, all right, soul plan, quick decisions, quick change, quick action, more planning, confidence, growth, and looking ahead, foresight. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, reverse. Yeah. Setback, low effort, waste, procrastination, unfinished work. So she had quickly soul lessons. All right. This was her point. And then did she pass very quickly? Like once she got, either maybe once she got diagnosed, or once it seemed like did she go very quickly? Only because it was right side up. If it was upside down, I would ask if it was slower, like a slow process. That's, to me, that's very fast. You know, some people end up sick in 4, 6, 10 years, you know, slow thing. 1 year to the date of surgery. Yeah. She's showing me one of the kids' toys that either she's trying to get to go off, or she has been successful in using her energy to manipulate and trigger them to go off. So just paying attention to, like, did that just say that? Did that just play by itself? Again, put on her favorite music when you're cleaning, when you're cooking. Throw on her jam for her, please. Although she can attend any concert she wants to at this point. All right, what else do you want to say, Brenda? Ha! I said, what else do you want to say, Brenda? Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother. Pulse of the mother. Slow down, time and nature. Literally, pulse of the mother. And Roscoe just came downstairs. okay, so if you play her music, then she's thanking you and validating that she's there when you're playing it. Pulls of leather. That's cool because not all these cards like barely even mention mothers. And the dog just came downstairs too. I don't know if she was a dog person at all, or if you are. Forge, don't follow. Be the leader you wish you had. I take this as be the mother you wish you had. If we're talking about our mom. Being the leader, being the mother, being the leader of the house, being a provider, being a caretaker that you wish you had, and taking all of those lessons and applying those to how you raise your kids. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. I think this is interesting because the all paths lead to home actually reminds me of like, it didn't matter what I believed in. It didn't matter what my family wanted me to believe in. It didn't matter anything. Like, it all, the same way we're birthed, we all die, we all cross, we all end up back to source. We all end up back to, and interesting, the way you think like she's coming back through your daughter. All paths lead home. It's like, oh, I'm done, and hold on, let me just jump back in and end up right back at home again. Just a thought. Oh, empathic starseed, absorbing what's not yours. So making sure, keep your boundaries. Also, absorbing what's not yours helps you to pay attention when she's closer and getting closer to you. You can feel when your loved ones are within the vicinity. You just have to invite them in. What I like to do is in meditation, like I'll sit, close my eyes, breathe, calm down, and then I'll just invite them one by one to come to the side of me just so that I can feel what they feel like. Sometimes I get the goosebumps, sometimes I'll get hot, sometimes I'll get cold, sometimes they'll show me different things. But it's just learning to like, okay, this is what it feels like when she's in the car with me. This is what it feels like when she's in the kitchen with me. This is what it feels like when I'm holding my daughter and looking at her in the face. What else? Let's see. This one. All right, so we got, energy is gaining momentum. Nothing is yet set in stone. And you and your loved ones are safe. Full moon in Cancer. So that's the mother moon. That's the mother card. The moon belongs in Cancer. So that's your final. You and your loved ones are safe. You're protected. Things are constantly changing. That's that one to me. When it's like the energy's gaining momentum, it's building up to something, right? It's like building up to the good part of a song. Nothing is yet set in stone is like, maybe that's what she's trying to teach you. It's like, look, not everything, like, you know, maybe bottom of the deck says have faith in your dreams. Maybe she's out here trying to tell you, like, build up, change things. Life doesn't have to be set in stone, but she's also given that you and your loved ones are safe. Let's see, what else? see her like doing her little hair. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see all of this unfold for you. And just see like how she's gonna continually keep coming through to you. Because I feel her, and when you post her pictures, that shit's loud and clear. Like, she is not one to just fall into the wayside. Like, she's not easily forgotten. So don't worry about that. I hope that helped. All right, I'm hungry. I can go eat and shower all this nasty ass community pool water off. So, sure isn't. Oh, you're welcome. And hopefully you sleep well. Tell me if you have any crazy dreams. I can't wait to hear about the other dream. So, all right. Possibly see y'all tomorrow. It's hot. Now it's hot. All the energy moving through. All right, good night.